Hello, I'm Andy McEwen. I'm a screenwriter for Scotland and I'm screening my film Autumn Never Dies at Zed Shorts International Film Festival.
Hi, my name's Chris Quick. I'm the director of Autumn Never Dies. It's a sequel to a short film we did about 10 years ago, and it follows two Scottish puppets who are living in Glasgow.
The inspiration for the film Autumn Never Dies basically came from the premiere of The Grains of Autumn, the original film. We screened that at a local event in Glasgow. There was also a networking night. The original film was just meant to be a one-off. It was just meant to end, and that was it. But, you know, after the screen, people were coming up and talking away and really talking about what the characters are going to do next, and we should make a sequel, which we all kind of laughed and thought, well, there's no way to make it. It's not possible. But again, I'm not much of a networker. I never know what to say to people. Like, so what do you do? I write my thoughts down. But someone had came up and had mentioned, oh, you wrote the film. Oh, you could do so much with those characters. Oh, you can make Danny a ghost, make him a monster, and something kind of sparked and made me laugh. Thinking about parodying old films. So maybe I thought, well, maybe there is more life in this and what we could do. So I just kind of went away and thought, what could we do with the characters, and what would the next situation be in Danny's life? And that's basically what inspired me to start writing it.
Autumn Never Dies started filming probably in about 2016, and we maybe took about a year to film, like sporadically over that year, just with the availability of our DOP. And it spent another 2 years in post-production, just with some challenges where we had to potentially go back and reshoot a couple of things, but obviously we were working around our DOP's availability. So from start to finish, it took about 4 years, but it's probably something that probably could have done a lot sooner if we had the available time to do it. One of the biggest challenges we had in Autumn Never Dies was probably the size of the puppets. Whilst on screen they may look rather large puppets, they're actually quite small in real life, and they're probably closer to hand puppets than anything. So, for example, Nelson the monkey barely comes over the base of your hand, so we obviously had to try and hide him behind tables and whatever we could, basically. But there was a lot of shots where we had to film again because a puppeteer's hand was in shot. So yeah, that was probably one of the biggest challenges of the film.
Financing the film, we basically done it through crowdfunding. I think we'd asked for 1,500, which we were very close to not getting actually at all, and we weren't going to end up getting a penny. But we actually made it with about an hour to go, so a bit of luck. One and only time we had luck on the shoot. So we got, I think it was about 1,300 to play with, all in all. I must admit, a bit of a strange thing happened. They sent us the money twice. The company, I'm saying Kickstarter, it's not Kickstarter, but I can't remember who it was. They sent the full amount twice into my bank account. So it was very, very tempting for a while just to maybe take a little holiday. But they realised that they'd made a mistake and they were asking for it back. So we could have had a bit more money, but sadly we're too honest. So yeah, we had about £1,000 to play with, and it was all through, I think it was like 44 financial backers who really, really helped. Like that, it's crazy that they gave money to a joke puppet film, but yeah, that's pretty much how it got made.
I think one of my fondest memories of filming was when we did a sort of bonus scene that appears after the credits in the film, and it involves Andy dressed in an SS uniform giving orders to a firing squad. What was quite interesting about that is we were filming in a park in East Kilbride in Glasgow, and a dog walker went past, but he went on the opposite side of us and kind of greeted us, good morning, hello, and it was very pleasant. But then he did a full circle and ended up coming round to the other side, and where he could see that on Andy's left arm was the swastika armband, and basically just started hurling abuse at us. And no matter how much we tried to tell him, no, this is for a film, he wasn't taking any of it and just like walked off into the distance shouting like vulgar obscenities at us. So yeah, that was quite a funny moment.
There's many, many memories and funny things that happened on this so long shoot. But I must admit, the coffin that is in the opening scene, that coffin was it was crazy to get for a start. Obviously, trying to get a prop coffin was never easy. Trying to find one or a location, whatever. But it just one day just happened to come on up my Facebook that someone was selling a stage coffin. She was like a burlesque dancer and she was selling it on. So messaged her and went, okay, how much for the coffin? Like, I'll buy it. Said, okay, I don't have it here. I'm in London. It's been kept here. Please email this guy. So okay, emailed the person. Okay, I'm going to buy the coffin. Meet me on Tuesday. Great, no problem. So I was like, do you have any pictures of the coffin? And he's like, here you go. So it's a picture of him standing beside it. But I'm like, okay, do you have like measurements? Is there a size? But I never get him back. So I'm like, okay, he looks like 5 foot something. So it's maybe a 6 foot coffin. Okay, we can get a big kind of people carrier that my uncle happened to have. And I was like, that would fit perfect. So I arranged to meet Tuesday. And then I get a phone call from my uncle saying, the car's broken down. It's in the garage. We need to get it another day. So I phoned the person. Said, look, I'll get it tomorrow. Car's broken down. No problem. Paid you tomorrow. But the next day, I was actually at a wrestling event. So I had to meet up for a few beers, leave the pub, get a taxi down to the place that was being held in Glasgow, and meet my uncle, and then we'd load it in the van. And then I thought, right, I need to store it somewhere. At the time, I was living in a smaller house, so there was no space for us. My wife had no space in the office. I don't think that would have went down well. So I was like, I'll drop off my mum's. It can go in the loft or, like a shed or something. So we get there, we go in, and the guy's, all right, excellent, you come. We'll just bring it out for you. Now I'm thinking it's going to be about 5 foot something. XY will fit, no problem. But it's 3 guys come out carrying this coffin, and it's huge. It looks about 6 foot wide by about 8 foot or something. It's huge and it's solid built. And my uncle just looks at me and he's like, I don't think that's going to fit in the van. And we're like, well, we're going to try. So exchanging money, and it's like, okay. And it goes, and we're trying to fit it in, and we're doing all the shapes, and we're moving the seats down, and we're deciding. And at the side, I'm basically inside the car, trying to kind of jiggle up. Finally get the kind of back door shut. But they've got the back door and there's a side door at the van. So we're like, right. And I'm sitting thinking like, oh my God, how am I going to spin this? Because I'm going to drop off my mum. I hadn't told her I was going to do it. I just went, I'll just drop off my mum's. I'm like, how am I going to spin this? That this is going to go north? Because it's not. It is too big, but I'll just need to lie. So we're like, okay, head to my mum's and driving up down the road. So I'm basically holding onto the coffin, which is massive, and I'm holding my back to the side door. And my uncle shouts to me, he's like, that door's not locking right, I can't get it locked. You're going to need to hold the door shut with your arm while holding the coffin. So basically we're going down the M8 in Glasgow, which is a busy motorway. Lucky enough it was at night. And he just kept shouting through, like, the door's not, I can't get the door locked. The door could open at any time. So if we had taken a sharp turn, I could have fallen out the side door with a coffin going right down the M8 at like 70 miles an hour. But lucky enough, that didn't happen. So we got it back to mum's in East Kilbride. And we're looking, I'm like, right, we'll just put it in the hall and I'll just leave because she wasn't in. So I went back to the wrestling event. And I must have been about an hour later, I got a phone call from my mum screaming down the phone about leaving coffins in our house. And I was like, that's fine, it'll go in the loft, It's not going to go in the loft. It's massive. What am I going to do with a coffin? Can't just leave a coffin in my hallway. Well, as I'm out, I'll do it later. It's, it's only going to be a month. We're shooting, next month. It's fine. She said, well, whatever. And I was like, look, I'll need to phone you back. I'm out. So eventually she phones back and she said, look, just leave it where it is. Right? So I was like, look, I'll come and get it and we'll find a place. So I'll just leave it. It's here now. Put it in the cupboard. Are you filming next month? Yep, filming next month. No problem. That shoot date fell through, and I believe we picked up a year later. So the coffin was in our house for a year. So it was in this cupboard. Now, in Arm's house, it's like a big cupboard, big size, and it's got all the electricity boxes and whatnot. So every once in a while, you'll get meter readers coming out from Scottish Gas or whatnot. And we came to the door, and it was my stepdad. But he was like, yep, the meter's just in this cupboard, mate. He's like, but look, listen, before you open the door, there's a coffin in there. So just so you know, and Gasman's like, oh, good one, mate. I've heard it all now. Opens the door and he's like, oh, fuck me, there's a coffin in here. All right then, fair enough. So he takes the reading, leaves, disappears. And obviously months and months pass due to so many shutdowns. Won't go into too detail, but Brexit kicked in and we had to reshoot, and there was actor dropping in and out. So it kept getting pushed back. So months and months and months later, another gas man turns up and he's like, here, read the meter. Yeah, sitting cupboard in there. Before you go in though, there's a coffin in there. So just before you go in, and he's like, you're that house with the coffin? And he's like, you're all the rave down at the work. Everyone's talking about you. Oh no way, I can't believe I'm in the house with the coffin. So we became kind of minor celebrities with this coffin. So eventually we finally get the location for the church and a shooting date. So, all right, how are we going to get rid of this? So, lucky enough, my uncle, he had a bigger van at that point, and he said, right, I've got the big van now, not going to be an issue. So, we're in the church. It's the interior we used. The exterior was a different location, but the church that we filmed in was in the city centre of Glasgow, kind of near the kind of financial end of it. So it's like right on a main road. So my uncle would pick the coffin up and he drove up. He's in this giant van, drives up and he's like, right, who ordered a coffin? So, all right, let's get it out. So there was like 5 or 6 guys lifting a coffin out the back of a van just in broad daylight. Like, okay, you get this bit, we'll carry this out the way here. People are like looking out and going, what the hell are they doing? They're bringing a coffin out the back of a van. So we do our shoot. And I'd agreed with someone, basically it was my local joke shop. I'd said, I was like, look, I don't know what to do with this coffin. I can't keep it. The only suggestion we've had with someone was just bury it and deal with it later. But well, we can't get rid of it. I can't sell it. I've asked if someone wants to buy it to just take it. Cannot get rid of it. Do you guys want it for your window display for next year? And they're like, oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd happily take that. Score. It's like, so are you able to just pick it up this date, this time, we'll phone you? Yeah, not a problem. Excellent. So, done and dusted with the coffin, we phone up and they're like, right, we'll be there in half an hour to pick it up. But what I didn't realise was, obviously they've got their own big van, and on the side of it, it was like Happy Times prop department, bouncy castle hire for your kids' party thing, spray painted on the side. So they drove up, and again, all 6 of us were trying to drag this coffin and put it in the back of a fancy dress, a higher bouncy castle for your birthdays. As people are staring at us out their cars and across the street and are completely bamboozled why we're all carrying, because most of the extras that helped, so they're all in the proper black morning suits. So they're basically carrying a coffin and just launching it into the back of a van. They were like, right, we'll see you later, bye. And they sped away. So it was quite an event, that whole coffin fiasco. It was a nightmare at the time, but it was quite funny looking back now on it. But it was an absolute nightmare.
So Autumn Never Dies was released in March 2020, and since then it's been shown in quite a few festivals around the world, which has been very nice. I think at the moment it's sitting at about 11 wins and 18 nominations, which is very nice. We've been in likes of Portobello, Dublin International, Laugh or Die Comedy Film Festival, Portobello in London, the Scottish Short Film Festival, and Wales International Festival. I'm probably missing some out, so I do apologise. But I think it's great that it's obviously got such exposure from around the globe. It's nice to see that other cultures pick up on the comedy, which is we obviously thought it wouldn't travel further afield in Scotland, but we've been in Italy, we've been in America, Canada, Australia, so it's been nice. And now obviously the Z Shorts International Film Festival, it's nice just to have another platform where another audience are seeing it for the first time, and it's great to hear their feedback and just to know that our work has been appreciated in other parts of the world.
As for the next project, we don't have anything concrete, but we, as always, hundreds of ideas, just no money or time. We have a script which was originally wrote as a sort of web series idea, might be a short film down the line, for the Callahan Horse, which will be in a little sneak preview in the film. So we wrote a full script for that. Also got another action film. Always want to do some action, so we get another action film called Storm on the Clyde. A few horror shorts in the making as well, and we have been trying to write a TV sort of idea for the puppets. Maybe trying to see if they would work as a kind of sitcom idea, but we'll see how well that goes. But nothing concrete, but we've got plenty of ideas, and hopefully now that COVID's slowly coming to an end, we can get out and actually start making things again rather than, I don't know, being stuck on Zoom.
I hope everybody at Z Shorts International Film Festival enjoys Autumn Never Dies. If you'd like more information about the film, there is a page devoted to it on my website, www.chrisquickfilm.com. You can find information about where the film is being screened next. And I'm also on Twitter at Fantastic Mr. Q.
I hope you enjoyed the film also, and any more information, there is an Autumn Never Dies Facebook page, and there is a Pentagram Productions UK Facebook page. And I'm on Twitter, Andy McEwen1, if you want to retweet anything or just slide into my DMs, whatever floats your boat.